Well, the United States should be put on high alert right now, especially with regard to what I'm about to show you in today's report. The sad truth is, even many in the alternative media haven't been talking about what I'm going to show you today. And it's chilling to the very core because it reveals everything that I have been warning about for years. I started my channel back in 2013. So I've been doing this for well over 10 years. And these globalist international order people and the top 1% billionaires are literally trying to take over every aspect of your life. And not just here in America, but if you're listening over in Canada or Australia or, whatever other country that you're in, they're after the whole freaking world. Right now, I'm going to show you a report that was put together by the Club of Rome. And not only them, right, for the Club of Rome members, but also this other organization known as the Council for the Human Future. So these two organizations have come out and published a report that basically says that they want to give organizations like the United Nations complete control over laws and legislation, in the name of saving humans from humanity. I mean, this is insane. I've got a lot to share with you guys today, but just a real quick break from my sponsor. Now, we have been told our entire lives that wrinkle creams are the way to look younger. But now one doctor says that that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. Well, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? Well, so that he can focus directly on anti-aging revolutionary breakthroughs. Now, his clients have dubbed this do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years and even decades off of your appearance in 2 minutes' time. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public where he outlines exactly how to use simple solutions from home. Now, if you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to bhmd1.com/haven. That's bhmd1.com/haven to watch that video. And if you want more information, you can click in the description box below. There's a link down there. Or if you're on your cell phone, click that more button to get more information, but you're not going to want to miss it out, as this product has been life-changing for me personally. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive into what on earth is going on. And I want to start with this organization. Before I show you the document, it's a real new document. Here is the Council for the Human Future. This is one of the organizations that put together this report right here. And this is the Roundtable on the Human Future, just published July 2024. So very, very new. But these are the two organizations behind it, both calling for a world call to action on the multiple crises now unfolding with humanity. They're saying that they have to start making laws, rules, and regulations for us to save us, to save us from ourselves. But here it is. And you can see some of the things that they have on this site in the Megarisks, because they took it upon themselves to deem themselves rulers over this type of stuff, right? Global overheating, global poisoning, weapons of massive destruction, resource scarcity, food insecurity, ecological breakdown and extinction, pandemic disease, overpopulation, uncontrolled technologies, and there's that little word, misinformation. God forbid you're allowed to talk about anything that they don't like. But if you go to About, this is the council, some of the things, and there's about 4 main people on this council, which is interesting to say the least. But this is an organization who claims that their entire job is to mitigate the risk of all these crises across the globe. Now, who the hell gave them the authority to do that? And why? Nobody elected these people in, but they're the ones that are advising governments all over the world. And not just them. I've warned about the Club of Rome many times before, but here's a reminder. I know you guys have heard about them, but these are the other ones behind this. And again, they're very similar to the prior. They're trying to handle the problems of mankind. This is where Agenda 2030, aka Agenda 21, came from, and all these sustainable development goals. These people had a lot to say about it. And if you go to their About section and you go to their members here, It takes you to this page, and you can see all of their members for the Club of Rome. And I'll kind of scroll through that. But there's about 140, 150-ish to kind of give you an idea. But these are business professionals, probably real high up people that make a lot of money, scientists, who knows, lots of people who control all kinds of things. And these are the ones that have decided to take it upon themselves to decide, that we need to have this world group of people. As you're going to see in a moment, they're even wanting to assign an entire task group, so to speak, that dictates rules and regulations for the globe in the event of some kind of catastrophe. That is the Club of Rome. And of course, they've got their sidekick there, the Council for the Human Future. And both of them have put together this little report, Roundtable on the Human Future, a call to action on the multiple crises now unfolding in humanity. And you can see the two mischievous globalist groups who have put this together, but you can see participating organizations and world thought leaders. Here's the people who are participating. Of course, you've got the Club of Rome, and then Council for the Human Future, and then you've got the Extinction Rebellion. So you guys can kind of see a pattern here, and I'm just going to highlight Global Evergreening, Global Governance Forum, Greening Youth, all of these United Nations, world peace, wink and a nod, Green New Deal kind of people. In other words, radical left organizations who are all a part of this. But it goes on to state this in their document, The Human Predicament. Humanity is facing its greatest emergency, a crisis consisting of many interlinked catastrophic risks. The crisis is already here, and it's going to get worse. Its combined scale and impact are so great that few grasp it. Together, these risks endanger our ability to maintain a civilization, possibly even to survive as a species. Global solutions are now urgent. To act later will be too late. Do you see the urgency in that? How urgent these people are? We're all going to die unless. It goes on, the crisis is vast, complex, and interconnected. It will affect everyone on planet Earth for generations to come. There is at present no plan of action to solve it, not even a concerted effort to develop it. So what exactly are these threats that we're facing? Well, they go on to kind of give some ideas on everything. They kind of give a summary here. Humanity faces multiple global catastrophic risks now arriving together. These pose a mounting security threat to all nations and to every person. Therefore, global risk call for global solution, aka an international order. There is currently no world plan of action for dealing with all these risks or even agreement to form one. There is a universal failure of leadership and governance to address the global problems we face. The current system of international cooperation is clearly not fit, they say, to meet the unprecedented challenges humanity confronts. Stronger international governments is becoming essential. And then they go on to explain this polycrisis, as they call it, is an interconnected web of challenges, including climate change, biodiversity loss, global poisoning, food insecurity, resource depletion, retreat from democracy, nuclear proliferation, spread of war, uncontrolled use of AI, those pesky little people that are talking about misinformation, aka they want to censor conservative voices, economic, social, and gender equality, rising inequality, failing healthcare systems, and geopolitical instability. These spell great insecurity for all. Notice all the progressive talking points just in that one paragraph alone. But they go on to say that under certain climate and war scenarios, humans could become extinct. If you don't start listening to those at the very top, you're going to become extinct. But it goes on to expand a little bit that a driving cause of the crisis is the overshoot of the human enterprise beyond the Earth's capacity to sustain. Overpopulation, overconsumption, how dare you eat that meat and dairy, and extractive mindset, rising inequality and inequality, poor choice of technologies, poor social arrangements, and inability to work together. These multiply all the existing threats. In other words, you being a human breathing on planet Earth are an existential threat and all of this other stuff. And if you don't do something like create some kind of global solution, then we're all going to be extinct, says the Club of Rome and their sidekick, the Council for the Human Future. But they go on to talk about, their plan of action, right? And here's that, kind of a little bit of that there. They want to develop a world plan of action to combat the crisis posed by the range of existential threats, which have the potential to destroy humanity and a habitable planet. It goes on. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to reconstruct the architecture of our governance systems worldwide. In other words, they want to restructure everybody's government, as you're going to see in a moment, to put, more of a body of people at the UN in charge, in case of some kind of existential threat that they're claiming is already here. In other words, if this threat is already underway for humanity, aka climate change, wars, or whatever they want to label it, that puts them in charge indefinitely. I don't really see it any other way, right? It goes on. Strengthen global governments by creating People's Assembly within the United Nations and create new ways to fund the UN. That is key word for carbon taxes to the UN directly. A body that you and I don't get to elect, by the way, whose complete agenda is very communist and progressive and socialist in nature. And they also want to create an Earth System Council, giving the United Nations system the capacity to pass binding legislation. That would mean pass rules, regulations, and laws to protect our planetary environment as part of the recognition of the common heritage of humanity. And of course, develop an Earth System Treaty under the UN, which legally commits all signers to work together to prevent the 10 major threats. All nations and all Earth citizens must be free to sign and pledge themselves to a safer future. Wow. Wow, 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 and wow. And they conclude that multiple human-generated threats are now combining to jeopardize our planet, our people, our peace, and prosperity. They are a major security risk to every person, every society, and our country now and well into the future. There is a foreseeable danger this will result in the collapse of human civilization, and maybe worse, they say. I didn't elect these people into office. I didn't put you in charge of anything in my country. Get the hell out, eh? Don't dictate what we need to do here in our country and tell us that you want to create a body within the UN or linked to the UN that gets to make binding legislation. What does that mean? What exactly would that mean? Well, take, what's going on, environment or whatever, they could pass so many rules and regulations against us, like how far you can drive your car, how often you're allowed to fly, how many shirts you're allowed to wear, how and what you are allowed to eat, to save the world. Sounds more like a freaking nightmare from hell. Nightmare from hell. It is. Do you know right now over in the UK that they're arresting people for speaking freely online? In fact, Jonathan Turley put this out regarding London, okay? London calling. Police chief threatens to arrest people around the world for online speech. And they have, and they are. In fact, they even put out a threat against Elon Musk because he's been speaking out against it and for the freedom of speech and our rights. This is absolutely massive. We've got a lot coming up. But to have these international bodies tell us what to do in catastrophe kind of situations, catastrophe kind of came out wrong type of situations, who the hell gave them the right? These 150 some odd people from the Club of Rome and from the other organization, who the hell told you that you could do that? And you can come up with these rules on your own. And you get to make these binding legislations through whoever you decide to appoint or the UN decides to appoint with no regard to what we want as the American people. We have a system here. It's called a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. And it kind of stands in their way, you know. I don't know about you, but a lot of these Democrats listen to these top 1%ers all the time. And these Democrats are all for these policies. That's what makes me sick to my stomach. Are you really electing Democrats when you elect them? Or are you electing those at the top 1%? Because this is who they're kowtowing to. Anyhow, wanted to bring that to your attention. It has not gotten enough attention lately, sadly. Please share this far and wide. And hey, by the way, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel here. Or check me out on Rumble. Please go to Rumble. I'm going to pull it up. I didn't pull it up, but I'm on Rumble. There's been a lot of stuff going on under Restricted Republic on Rumble. So please make sure you subscribe to me there. Restricted Republic on Rumble. Here I am. So that is mine. So make sure you're subscribed to me there. I post all the videos that I post here on there as well. And they're all on there. None of them have been deleted there from Rumble. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.